Hi, I'm Jody Escareno, and a few quick housekeeping. We are limiting this call to 20 minutes. It will be 15-minute presentation and a 5-minute Q&A. Am I coming through, or am I chopping up?
It's good.
Fine.
Sounds good.
I'm getting a little feedback, so good. We will be recording the call, and we ask that if you have any questions, like I said, we'll be doing that at the end. Please put the questions in the chat box. And any questions we're not able to get in the 20-minute time, we will address via email afterwards, okay? So the agenda for today, first we'll do the introduction. We'll tell y'all who's involved in this project. We'll go explain a little bit about the project and the benefits of solar arrays at Highline High School. We'll talk about some funding research that we've done, and then a Q&A for 5 minutes. Okay.
Hi,
Like deja vu.
Hi, my name is Niall Cook. I'm the president of the Environmental Club.
Hi, I'm Selena Nguyen. I'm the vice president.
Hi, my name is Ruth Asefa. I'm the secretary of the Environmental Club.
Hi, I'm Kim Nguyen, and I'm the treasurer of Environmental Club.
And we are the student leaders of this project. And our roles in this project is to do research about grants and funding, and also deepen our knowledge about solar. And I'll pass it on to Sustainable Burien.
Hi, my name is Ellie Tran. I am a co-leader at Sustainable Burien. Pass it on to you, Jody.
And I'm Jody Escareno. I am also co-leader of Sustainable Burien. We are a small grassroots group dedicated to creating practical and inclusive opportunities for sustainability in our community. And for this project, we are mentoring and project managers. We will be facilitating until completion of the project.
Michaela is another, is a part of our team also. She's from Spark Northwest, and she's also another, oh, she's here. Hi, Michaela. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, y'all. Thanks for convening tonight. I'm Michaela. I'm a project manager with Spark Northwest. We're a small nonprofit that provides technical assistance to community-based organizations, tribes, and schools and community groups on energy planning and solar projects. We provide assistance on grant research, utility research, grant writing, and I've also worked with affordable housing.
And I'm Annie Phillips. I'm a community activist volunteer. I'm co-chair of Burien People for Climate Action. And we very much support this project. We're very excited about it because it could be a great magnet for community support and action, great education for the kids, and save money for the district.
Win-win-win.
So about the project, we are planning a 100 kilowatt system to take advantage of net metering. So we plan to finish funding in the spring of 2021 and to have it installed at least by November of 2021. We are currently talking with a solar installer from Sphere Solar Energy with the CEO of Edwin Wanji. And on the next slide, Ellie will be explaining about the quote we received.
So after a couple of months of conversation with Sphere Solar, this is the rough draft that they sent us over with the address of the school and also some mock-up from solar satellite images of the school rooftop. And for a 90 or almost 100 kilowatt hour system, these are the estimate that we are looking at. And this is a total saving in 30 years of having the system installed. And one thing to note about this number is that this is not accounted for the consistently 5% or so increase in electricity rate in the next 30 years. So you can grab this number and time it about 1.5 to get to the final saving of the solar array system over the course of 30 years, which is its optimal lifetime of solar panels. And this installation from Sphere Solar's Energy, a company that is minority owned in our area, also come with warranties like 25-year solar panel manufacturer's performance warranty, 25 years of inverter manufacturer's warranty, and a 10 years workmanship warranty. And with this quote, they also pointed out to us that there will be advising us to take advantage of the national incentive of close to $70,000, and that will be deducted at the beginning of the initial cost of the project. And on the next slide, I'm gonna shift it back to the student leadership to tell us more about why this project is so important.
Yes, so I'll start. So for me personally, before I was introduced into this project, I didn't think it would be possible for me to do something outside of my comfort zone. So I think this project is important to me, and why you should consider the proposal is because I know the effect solar could possibly have on Highline students and ultimately help unite the school. And I'll pass it on to you now.
In my opinion, we want solar because then students will have access to a sustainable technology, and it can be a great tool for students to apply what they've learned in science classes to the real world. Also, when this project becomes successful, I think this will inspire so many other students to take meaningful actions and keep improving our community. And I'll pass it on to Kim.
So for me, one of my personal reasons is because I love giving back to my community. And with this project, it is a way to give back to my community and my school. Sorry. Yeah, and I'll pass it on to Selena.
I think solar is important to our school because we live in a low-income community and we lack these resources. And I think this is a great way to inspire future Highline students to start their own projects like ours. On the next slide, we'll be talking about the benefits of solar. So first, this will save more money in the long run since solar panels last about 30 years or more. And this will be a great way for students to interact with sustainable technology, and they will be able to work with hands-on activities. And this will create more awareness for green jobs since there is such a big shortage. I'll pass it on to Nya.
Another benefit of having solar at our school is that it will help raise environmental awareness in our community. We will be able to reduce the amount of CO2 emissions produced when the school uses natural gas to heat up the school. And in addition, it will also demonstrate the district's effort in fighting climate change. And in the next slide, we will talk about the public grants that we have found.
Okay, so two of the public grants that I looked at were the energy efficiency and solar grants. So since the energy efficiency and solar grants are separate grants, the estimating fund for the energy efficient grant is approximately $800,000 from federal sources. And the deadline is in January of next year. The estimate fund for the solar grant is around 3.7 million, but that is not the certain amount each grantee will receive. And so the deadline would be of November of next year. And the funding for Seattle City Lights, the third grant, public grant, it's not open to public entities yet, so we don't have further information, but the grant will give us more information about it in the next year. So like it's in 2021. Yeah. Pass it on to Nia.
Another grant that we have done research on is the Centralia Coal Transition Grants, and the probable amount of this grant will be determined by the funders themselves. And next we have the Port of Seattle Community Improvement Grant. And this grant, we can request up to $20,000 of funding, and the deadline is December 4th, 2020, but this is only the end of the first funding cycle. And I'll pass it back to Ruth.
Yeah, so as for the conservative estimate for the grant total would be around 50,000, assuming that we get 10,000 from each public grant. And so for the next slide, Ellie will further talk about private loans.
So the project teams also looked at some other options in order to fund this project completely 100%. We had a few conversations with Kitsapeng, specifically talking about their Community Reinvestment Act. And this project received a couple of interests, specifically from Mr. Richard Martinez to work on the special project. Kitsapeng is a boutique local bank. They've been focusing on a lot of solar projects, maybe not locally, but they're trying to bring it locally. So we would love to have further conversation with them to investigate whether we could collaborate with them on funding this project. And the project team also had a couple of conversations with the PSC Solar Grant, specifically with the grant manager talking about potentially funding this project as well. And lastly, they're also interested in investigating further some impact bonds from Edward Jones, Morgan Stanley, and other mutual funds company locally in our area. And next, I'll pass it back to Ruth to talk about other funding platforms.
Okay, so other funding programs that we were looking at, we want to be able to put up a website for crowdsourcing and in-kind donations where people can access the funding for our projects, such as GoFundMe or local businesses and newspapers like the V-Town blog. So yeah, we just need all the support we can get. And I'm going to be passing it to Selena, Kim, and Ya to wrap up our presentation.
So we asked that Highline be solar ready from the district so we can receive funding and loans and grants. And the second ask is funding support. And for example, we need Highline to be, or we need the annual electricity consumed so we can complete the grant application. Now I'll pass it on to Nya.
And we would like the King County Council member to join our team by referring us to any public funding sources and sharing this project widely in the community. And I'll pass it on to Kim.
And for the public to join our team, we hope to get any sort of donation. We would love any donations, and for them to share on social media widely.
Okay, we will start our Q&A right now. Reminder, it is going to be a quick 5 minutes, and any additional questions we'll have to address in email. I do have a question for the team. How long does it take to install the solar panels?
It only takes 1 month to install the solar.
Oh, thank you.
Is that for the entire array, 1 month?
Yes, it is, Scott.
Okay, and so I have 2 questions. Well, really one. Do you have a cost estimate for that array right now so you can compare that to where you're at in fundraising? And just the second piece is that slide number 6 was the roof of the Performing Arts Center, not Highline High School, where you've got that model set up.
So I would take this question. Sphere Solar sent me the estimate for the system. This is a very rough estimate yesterday. And the team over there already confirmed with me that they are happy to sit down to answer any further questions from the school district from this point onward. And when the project team met with PSC Renewable Team and also Sphere Solar CEO Edwin Wanji, we did have similar question to them about, where are we going to put the arrays and how are we going to be able to determine how big of a system that the school would need. This is a very good example. the answer that Edwin Wanji from Sear Solar gave this project team was that it really depends on which production meters that, or which meter, we want to be powered by solar to be hooked up to the system. So it could be the Performing Arts Center that meters are going to be hooked up to the solar system instead of the actual school, the main campus. So these are the details that the project team would love to work further on to get more details to you guys to make this project possible. And I do have the PDF of the full 11 pages of the rough draft that Sphere Solar sent us. So I will happy to follow it to you.
I can also just offer like general, like a little more comparison or context. I was just calculating the cost per watt, which is usually like a way of gauging the apples to apples. So how much does it cost per watt to install, and then you just size the system. This is about $249 per watt, which is a pretty competitive price. Commercial projects would range between $2 and $3, so it's really in the middle range. Usually new construction can be actually lower cost because there's less infrastructural adjustments as opposed to retrofitting an existing building, having to work around HVAC and things like that. So if the construction team works with Edwin's team early enough, it can end up lowering costs because you don't have to shut down streets, or it streamlines the permitting process, things like that. But this seems like a really competitive price.
Hey, this is the other Scott here. Sorry to interrupt, Scott.
No.
I just wanted to check in, and wasn't Dave Upthegrove going to be on this call? And also, since Scott, the other Scott, is with the district, just curious as to whether the district has a stance on this yet, or is this the first you're hearing of it?
So I did see Dave Upthegrove's name on the invitation list, but I don't know what the status is there. I can tell you that the district is interested in what this looks like for the new Highline High School project. We do have infrastructure included in the design and construction on the new Highline High School with no budget built for installing a solar array. We want to have the building solar ready, but we don't have the budget to do the solar installation. I think we've talked about that with a couple of you already. District's always interested in ideas that are going to support, the environment, the health of our students, and benefit the community as a whole. So we definitely want to be at the table and sit and listen, and be able to participate as long as we can put a program together that our school board and community accepts.
It's great to hear. We'll do one more question. Or none.
I was just, I was going to add that we work with Hargis Engineering on the new school design, and they're up on this. They've done solar installations and designs, and I'd sure like to show them the work that you've done. Any technical work that you've done, it would be really good to compare notes, and then I can come back with them and find out what their idea was for the new school. But like Scott said, we'd not thought about the PAC. It had all been referenced the new high school.
Okay, we'll definitely be in touch via email afterwards. I did include the contact information for everyone, including emails. If you have any questions for us, it would also be in the email that was sent inviting you to this meeting. As I said, it was recorded, so we will be sending that out should you want to share it with anyone. If you have any questions, concerns, comments afterwards, please reach out. We would love to answer them for you. And I'd like to, on behalf of myself and this whole team, thank you so much for coming and joining us this evening.
Well, and I would do the same for the school district. I really appreciate the effort and energy that's going into this, especially from the young faces here on my screen right now. That gives me promise for the future. So I really appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, we have a
Thank you so
great
much.
group of students. We're really excited. They're showing such great leadership.
Absolutely.
I'd just like to add, well done, well done.
Thank you.
Kudos, you guys. Wonderful job. Cannot be any prouder and more grateful for this opportunity to work with you all. And I think we are right on time. Yeah, Jody?
Yeah, sounds good. Well, thank you all. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
We will be in touch.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thank you.